turtle was abandoned and is completely homeless. So this guy took him in and built him a dream home. Let's see how he did it.
Get this in my car. Guys, we just bought this.
Is that the
tank from
turtle?
someone who said he didn't want it anymore.
I don't see him.
And apparently there's a
I think it's just a random
turtle
tank.
inside,
Oh.
but I haven't seen anything yet.
There's a turtle in there!
No way.
Yeah. Wait. Stop. I think I just saw something in there. Wait, do you see
Where
that?
is it?
And after taking a closer look,
Oh, I see the head.
it was right there, chilling
He's
under
so
a piece of
cool.
glass.
He
I
looks
took
sad.
off the lid to get it out.
Yeah, look, the turtle's in here.
Dang, he's depressed.
Wait, he's so big.
No, he's not.
What's up, turtle?
I guess
I think he's
we're not
big.
super far
That
from
dad
home.
looks like Greg
All right,
Paul.
let me just put him back in here. There you go, buddy. I'll just cover you back up.
After we got it home, I searched around for a second until I found the turtle again, which looked like it
Hello,
was still
turtle.
in good health, so I took it out to get a closer look.
What species is this? I don't think I've ever seen this.
Take your guesses now. It's got like red, weird camouflage on its arms, and it's got that triple chin.
The only turtle that I really know of is a red slider turtle. So I'm gonna say that.
Wait, is this Alec?
No, that's not me. That looks nothing like me at all.
Alec, can you look like a turtle real quick? Come on, for the video. Comment down below what you think.
I think it's a sea tortoise.
I think it's a Spinosaurus.
That is definitely extinct.
Hold on, I guess let me just put this into my temporary tank. I have an idea of how to figure out what species this is.
We'll call
So
that
I
TT.
opened up an AI app on my phone to take a picture of the turtle and
ChatGPT.
ask what species it thought it was. And it
I
came
don't
back as
trust
a Central
technology.
American wood turtle, and even gave me some facts about it. But at the very bottom, it said that it had the special ability to...
Did you guys see that? It lives 20 to 30 years.
Did he just use ChatGPT like a Pokédex?
No, literally, this seems like it's a Pokemon. He
Yeah,
has,
right?
he has abilities. He has the ability hunt earthquake hunting. What?
That's awesome. It could stomp on the ground to make worms rise to the surface.
Whoa!
Alec,
That's
does
actually
that happen to
insane.
you when you walk outside on grass?
I don't want to talk about it.
Stomp on the ground to make worms rise to the surface.
Wait, that is actually so
Dude,
cool. I'm gonna
no
100%
way, that's
test
crazy.
that
My
later
special
in this
ability
video.
is
Look, it says
obesity.
it wants 50% water, 50% land for its setup, so I guess that's what I'm gonna be turning this thing into.
Now, of course, I had to drain the dirty water out of it and take out all the trash decorations and sand from the previous owner.
All right, this is much better.
Whoa.
And to
Better.
start, I'm gonna put in this big rock background.
You see, the previous
like
owner
it.
did give me these for free, saying they would fit perfectly, and he was right because as you
Oh.
can see, I was
Whoa.
able to wrap them around all sides.
That
of
already
the
made it 10 times
enclosure, and
cooler.
They fit perfectly, so I spray foamed them all into place.
And now,
It kinda looks like Alec's office a little
I'm gonna
bit.
take some of these rocks and lay them
It's
down
dark in there.
across the entire enclosure, which will basically separate the land and water areas in here.
Since the water's going to be on the side closest to the front, we want to get some spray foam and block up all the little
There he
holes
goes
and
with the
gaps
spray
along
foam.
the rocks.
Terra
And before
Green
it's able to
loves his
dry, I
spray
covered it in
foam.
some smaller rocks and pebbles to hide the exposed foam.
I'm surprised he's not sponsored.
Any open hole, that dude just gets the spray foam out. It's like,
Since this tank is integrating water with land, the best way to symbolize that is to build a working waterfall.
Hey, yo.
Which I think I'm gonna do
A
right
waterfall?
Yep, you heard
I
that
like
right.
it.
So I
That's what he
started
said.
stacking rocks
Dude.
along this corner here because this is going to be the hill where the waterfall will flow from.
here. Now you might expect
Do you think this turtle has to pay,
nope.
Turtles don't make income, Alec. What are you talking about? That's like asking your dog to pay you for the food that you give it.
my dog pays?
How?
Not with money. Look, he's transforming this turtle's home into a super mega mansion home for the turtle. That is like, the turtle, it's not fair. It's not fair the turtle gets that for free. What did the turtle do to deserve that?
Have you ever heard of somebody doing something nice for somebody else and want nothing in return, Alec? Get Jesus in your life.
And imagine this. You go and you ask the turtle, you're like, hey, turtle, give me rent. He goes, boo, 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 and worms rise from the ground. You're dealing with a necromancer, man. You don't want to mess with that.
That's a good point. That could be his rent, his worms. He gives you worms for rent.
Why do you want worms, Alec?
Alec, don't you already have worms?
I don't want to talk about it.
That's how your dog paid you.
In fact, to make the waterfall work, it'll be complex, but all you need in reality is this little water pump thing.
Dude, clean your
Basically,
fingers.
just put that pump in the back corner and surround the extra space around it with some filter floss,
Oh,
which will
yeah.
make the waterfall also turn into a filter to keep the water clean.
That is
Then I lined
genius.
some tubing from the pump up along the side of the hill. That way it was barely poking out the top
Whoa.
of the rocks. Now you see, I
Evergreen's
actually
getting some
did
good
try to do
animations.
a waterfall in a video about a year
He
ago.
makes it look
Let's
so
just say
easy.
it didn't go so well at first. Hopefully that doesn't happen here.
Well, I really
I
hope
remember
I
that
set up
video.
the pump in here correctly, so let's fill it up with water so we can test the waterfall.
So I did that, plugged in the pump, and waited for it to start.
Why is nothing happening? It should be going.
Dang.
Is it broken? Oh,
Oh!
Hey, hey.
Whoa!
Whoa.
It's going again.
He's a riser.
gosh.
That's how I
Looks like a
pee.
camel after a long day.
He was pee shy.
Yeah, it's kind of just splattering water all over me though. I gotta turn this off.
Thankfully,
Oh
I was
my
able to
goodness.
change a setting on the pump to make it less extreme, which made it a lot more calm and into a beautiful flowing waterfall. So
Wow.
finally, I
I
glued
like
a little bit
that.
of rocks along.
Is this making anyone else mad? He has not cleaned his fingers one time. It's always dirty.
Why would you be mad about that, Adam? You love dirt.
Yeah, Adam, you told me that you don't use toilet paper when you wipe. So
the dirty water?
Well, thankfully, I got the waterfall working, so now it's time to finish up the floor and decorations in here.
First of all, I wanted to fill the land section with these clay leeka balls. You see, the two
that?
sections are mostly separated by
Cocoa
rocks,
pebbles.
but just in case a little water leaks through, this leeka should
Oh.
absorb it, keeping the land nice and dry. Next, I cut out some
That's
window
pretty
screen
smart.
matching the
It looks
exact
like
dimensions
tiny
of the
coconuts.
land, and then put the dirt
Cocoa
substrate
pebbles.
on top of it.
But this land
Or
area is looking pretty boring,
whoppers.
so let's get the basics like some small rocks and wood inside. Then let's put in some of this fern moss to add some color.
It's already
This is a
looking
live
10 times
moss
better.
I've never used before, and apparently when you spray
I would live
it,
there
it
if I was
actually
a
just
turtle.
starts growing really fast. So in just a matter of a couple days, the entire enclosure should be taken over by the moss. It should look pretty cool.
Dirt.
And finally, I put a ton of these branches on the wall to fill in the empty
Ooh.
spots at the top of the enclosure.
Nice.
Well, the
Turtles
land
can't
area is
climb,
now
though.
all complete, and my
It's for the
favorite
look,
part is
Jack.
this little area I
Okay.
made under the water. As you can see, it's
Whoa.
nice and cozy in there, and the turtles will be able to set up camp in there. And
Wait, once he sets up the waterfall, doesn't he? It's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be like The Incredibles, where you gotta go under the secret waterfall to get to the home base.
Ooh, that would be pretty cool.
I don't think it's gonna go over the cave though.
It's his dream home!
Do you guys think that he's gonna add worms into the enclosure so that he could test out his turtle special ability?
100% he is. I hope that he adds like little mini turtles too, so that he, as the original turtle, feel like he's the captain. You know, he's the man. He's the king of his own exhibit.
Oh,
Maybe
Because he might get lonely there.
Maybe he can just make his own.
maybe that's what the beach is for. Turtles lay eggs in the beach.
True. And then they run away, and then half of them die to seagulls.
Yeah, but here, none of them will die.
time for the water area, which is a little simpler because we just got to pour in sand basically.
And after getting a ton of that in, I put some gravel up against the
Sand
edge of
looks
the
so
rock, it
edible.
faded that rock texture into the sand texture.
And finally,
Oh
we
my
can't
gosh.
forget more rocks, baby. Yeah, pretty
Oh
much
my
this entire
goodness, this
riverbed
guy's
is just made
good.
up of sand and rocks. Pretty simple.
All right, the base of the tank is now complete. Now to
Nice.
fill in it with
That
water,
looks
it
nice.
looks even better with a
does.
very
That
looks real
beautiful
nice.
waterfall
10.
now flowing. But if you're an avid terra greener, you already know what the
I
next
am.
step is. Let's
I
get
am.
some plants, baby.
Yeah.
First of all, I went to
Walmart,
Walmart.
Walmart, yeah.
Another thing that I've noticed by watching so many Terra Green videos, he uses the same car clip. I don't know if you guys notice, every time it's the same clip.
The exact same one.
Yeah, I look forward to it every single time.
Yeah, calm down. He's just going to Walmart.
So guys, if you guys did not know this, Terra Green lore, he actually went to PetSmart for plants before, and he even went to Home Depot one time, but everybody commented Walmart, Walmart. So now he goes back to Walmart.
Calm down, Jack.
I think Jack had too much coffee this morning.
I commented Walmart when he went to Home Depot. I was part of that movement.
Nice.
You had to be there.
I'm more of a Target guy.
We know.
Which thankfully had just restocked their land plant section, so I could get some good deals on those. But I also needed aquatic plants, which I could only get at the pet stores, so I bought a few of those as well.
Dude,
After
his
getting
hands
home,
are
I
still
got all these
dirty!
Plants and put some of
He's
those along the
out in
land
public!
section. It was mostly just some small plants to add some greenery, but in the water portion, I put in all the water plants, which definitely brought the whole thing to life a
Aquatic
little bit more.
plants.
And now the final step to finishing this enclosure is the
Add
cleanup
the turtle.
crew. And you'll see
Add
what I
the-
mean by
oh.
that in a second, but let's go to Petco. Okay, now, first of all, we need to get something that's gonna eat up any
Oh,
algae that grows in
snails!
the water. And in this thing here, you can
Snails!
see there's some aquatic
Oh, nice,
Nerite
Jack.
snails. Yeah, those little things there. Let me get them in a bag.
And after getting the snails
Gary,
bagged up, I of
Gary.
course had to buy a couple containers of springtails, which I could put
Smug
on the
bug.
land and would eat any mold that grows in that
That is
moist
nasty.
dirt in the enclosure.
Oh, yeah,
yes, I'm
yeah.
happy
He
to have
adds that
these
to
in
every
stock. Let's
enclosure.
buy these too.
When I got home, I first let the little springtails loose, and they all scurried
They're
around
so
in their own
tiny.
direction.
In theory, I could put those like around the house and then I would never have to clean again. Because they eat all the little microbiomes and stuff.
Basically, yeah, but I think that they would end up in your hair and all over your body.
That's pretty gross,
Oh,
Adam.
I already have lice, so how could it get worse?
You put that in your bed, it's gonna get worse.
It would be like 1,000 kisses. It's more.
Okay.
It's more love.
Are we about to go to Petco right now?
And took cover amongst all the dirt and leaves.
But oh, now it's time for the snails. Let's just put these
Snail
guys
time.
in. There we go.
Now, the reason I chose this species of Nerite snails is because they can't actually have
fast.
babies in fresh water. You see, a big problem with
Hey,
most snail
yo!
species is they'll have like a million babies, which
Oh,
causes the
yeah.
whole tank to get overrun.
They
So
shadow
thankfully
clone
with these
jutsu.
guys, that's not gonna happen. To finish off the tank, I put in a water heater, a water oxygenator, and some heat and
Oh,
UV
smart.
bulbs
It's got
at the
life
top
support?
so the right parameters would all be met.
And of course, the waterfall I built in the back should mostly normally filter the water, but just in case it gets too dirty, I've also got this tiny little filter.
Well, this place is
thought
now
of it all.
100% complete and definitely is a big improvement from the trash we bought it as. And I'd say the enclosure is ready for the turtle.
Wow.
Let's get it in.
I actually think that that's the best enclosure that Terra Green's ever built. That's my number one, I think.
It's my favorite. This turtle does not deserve it. I wish that I could live there.
See, now you're on my team. He should pay rent. It's not fair.
If he had money, and he doesn't, but if he did, he should pay rent.
Enclosure's beautiful.
Get it in.
Oh, buddy, I got a big surprise for you. You know, I've kept
that
you in this
turtle
temporary
okay?
tank for a day, boy, but it was worth it because look
Dang,
at what
boy.
I just built for you. Here you go, boy. Welcome to your new home.
Right away, the turtle climbed up
There you
onto the
go,
land to
boy.
take a second to admire his new
Hey,
home.
yeah.
Then he jumped in the water and
Hey!
swam right up to a snail to try and start.
Oh my God.
Of course, because of the
He's
shell, so
starving.
He was homeless. He's
Man, clearly
hungry.
this
Give him
guy's
some
hungry, and
food.
I already know he has some crazy hunting tactics for worms. So let's go and test
Stop,
a bunch
stop,
of different
stop,
foods
stop,
to see which
stop,
you like
stop.
the most.
First of all, little turtle pellets. These are
Cocoa
the normal
pellet.
food you feed your turtle. Nothing crazy, but they provide
Cocoa
some
pebbles.
alright nutrients. Right
Turtle
away, he
cocoa
picked up the
pebbles.
scent and ate one of them.
Oh
Then
my
he continued
goodness.
to eat a bunch more.
Oh my
In fact, he was
goodness.
loving it so much that I even tried to do some tricks with him by dropping a pellet into his mouth. And yeah, he doesn't really have a good reaction time.
Where'd it go?
He
Where'd it
definitely
go?
likes those, but next up, I've got a little cricket doused in calcium powder. Which I'm just gonna go.
Oh my gosh.
He put drugs on the
There you go.
You see, the calcium powder on this cricket not only makes it stand out more, but it also provides the nutrients to keep the turtle shelled nice and strong. Now, at first, it was just crawling around the land, so I knocked it in the water where the turtle then ate it. I didn't really capture the strike
His leg
at
fell
first
off.
since it was so
My
fast, but yeah,
leg!
you can see he thoroughly enjoyed it and even ate some scraps off the floor.
Okay. This guy likes to get his protein in. I like that, but he also has to get his fruits and veggies.
Oh,
or
I
guess
hate
it's veggies,
carrots.
but I'm gonna try
Wait, that carrot's like longer than his entire body. How's he gonna fit that whole thing in one bite?
Have you heard of a
One
knife?
bite? Why does he have to do it in one bite, Adam?
Everybody knows the rules.
He's gonna chop it up, Adam. He's gonna chop it up into little carrot pieces.
to feed him this
He's
carrot.
paying rent right now. I'll
So
tell you
I waved
that.
it in front of him for a second until he gave it a bit of interest underwater. He went up to it and bit it a couple times, but each time he bit it, he would just end up letting go. I guess his bite wasn't
Weak
strong
jaw.
enough to cut off the carrot, so I cut a little piece off myself and put it in front of
a
him.
huge
He then
piece.
bit it, gave it a little taste, and ultimately just
He's
spat
kind
it
of
back
adorable.
out. He's just like me,
Yeah.
leaving his vegetables on the plate as he swam away.
All right, now let's.
Wait a second, Alec. The turtle is paying rent. This video has 2 million views. This video has made thousands of dollars.
Alec, he's paying your rent too, Alec.
Wait, I love this turtle. This turtle's awesome.
This turtle is a money-making machine.
Guys, can we get a turtle?
20,000 likes and we will get our very own homeless turtle and it'll live with Alec.
Now let's do some worms. So before
That's
I
a
test
big
that
worm.
thing with the dirt, let's just
That
warm
is a
some rough
massive
worms
worm.
by feeding them some of these bloodworms.
Oh,
Now, you may already
bloodworms.
know this, but
These are really
bloodworms
healthy.
come in these little packets and are frozen. But when they're put in water, they start to thaw out and scatter worms all over the place. So I waved them around in front of
a
him like
turtle's
everything
neck is
else,
so
and
cool.
immediately he snapped at it. And
turtle is
basically
eating
ate them
better than
whole.
I
Out
do.
of everything I had fed him so far, it seemed like he was enjoying this the most.
loves the
So
blood.
it was time to upgrade them with some giant
Spaghetti.
nightcrawler worms now. You see, what I
Bigger
did was let a
spaghetti.
few go down into the dirt on the land area to hide in there.
he's gonna
Then
do
I
the
got another
stomping
worm
thing.
and waved it around in front of the turtle to convince him to come up to the surface.
He's
Once he was
fishing
there,
with
I
a
waited,
worm.
hoping he would do something, but he kind of just stood there.
That's like a
not
fruit by the
stomping on
foot.
the floor to convince the worms to come up.
Stomp!
I even waved a worm in front
Mom,
of his
use
head,
your
and
special
when he didn't show
ability.
any
Shy.
interest, I put a whole pile of worms in front of him, which
Dude,
he
that's
still
a lot
didn't
of
care about. I
worms,
guess for
bro.
some reason he's only hungry in the water. So after he jumped back in, I waved a worm in front of him again, and literally instantly, yeah,
Are you
he grabbed
kidding
it
me?
and for like 3 minutes battled with it to eat the whole thing up. It was pretty funny to watch,
Oh.
actually.
Oh,
You
that's
see, normally
brutal.
these
So wait a second. So you're telling me they have a special ability that they can use on land, but they like to hunt in water, so they're never going to use their special ability.
Maybe this turtle's just defective.
This turtle it kind of reminds me of Adam. Adam only eats breakfast if he's taking a bath.
I do stomp too when I get mad and hangry.
A lot of similarities.
These wood turtles are supposed to do this. Stomp on the ground, which simulates raindrops, which for some reason causes the worms to surface. And when
That's
they
so
do, the
weird.
turtle gets a nice tasty meal.
Oh!
But I guess my guy's a little bit lazy and he doesn't want to do that. But that's okay because he's cute. Who's your good boy? Who's your good boy? You don't have to be scared of me.
Well, anyways, it was fun transforming the enclosure
Wow.
from what it was to this, which I think
Alec, would you like it if when you went outside and you stomped really hard, a bunch of cheeseburgers just started rising from the ground?
Wow, that was crazy. If you guys enjoyed that video and want to see another one just like it, click right here.